Welcome to another episode of Blocks and Barriers with me, Tracy, the health coach. I'm excited for today's episode. And again, it's just going to be me and you continuing on from what we were discussing last week and just extending to make sure that you reach your goal, whatever goal you've set. I gave you a different way of approaching your goals, and I hope it's helpful. So today I just wanted to continue on in another way by letting you know of this particular process. But it would be interesting, or I'd love to hear your comments on how you found the 8-week challenge and how you're finding it so far. So if you haven't watched the episode, then please watch the previous episode, which was talking about why your New Year resolutions won't work. So in there, I included an 8-week challenge. And if you have any questions, or if you have any struggles or you're struggling, then do let me know, share in the comments, or feel free to reach out. You can scan the QR code and book a call, and then we can discuss what's going on. What are your blocks and barriers? And then we can see what the solution is that would fit you and fit your situations. Or if you prefer to email me, then my email address is on there. And of course, my social media details, if you want to follow me, are down in the description below. So yeah, connect. So today's title, I've titled today's episode, The Undiscovered, Underused, and Undermined process that helps you make the changes to your health and your lifestyle. So let's just start with a scenario that all of us may be familiar with. So you're talking to your friend and you make plans. Yeah, let's meet up, or you met up already, and then you're excited, you had a good time, and you decide, you know what, let's meet up again. And then the day comes when you're supposed to meet up. And you're just thinking, and I've been there before as well, so it's not only you. So you're thinking, oh my goodness, especially now in winter, oh gosh, I wish they cancel. I wish they cancel. Because the mood that you arranged the date has long left you. You're no longer feeling that excitement that you had, and you're just wishing your friend would cancel. So you're sitting around playing on your phone, hoping they will cancel. And maybe they're also thinking the same thing. But what this highlights is this, and it goes back to what I shared in the previous episode. When we make these goals, we're excited, and again, you'll get that scenario of new year, new me, and you're excited, you're motivated, you're ready for action, you're ready to make changes. And then come January 31st, you're not in that mood anymore. So what this shows us is there's something about motivation, and the process that I'm trying to let you know considers all this and all I'm about to share with you. And it considers and recognizes that actually it's your commitment that matters the most. So there's a definition here of what commitment means or is, and commitment is staying true to what you said you would do long after the mood that you said it in has left. So when we're talking about changing our lifestyle or making changes to our health, process recognizes that, when it comes to motivation, your motivation can change. And why does it change? Like now, you've had the first week back at the office, and your work is it's just the first week, but already you're overwhelmed, already you're just over it. You're just done with the work. And it's just the first week. So what does that do to your motivation? Your motivation for that excitement and all the changes that you wanted to make may go down. Or maybe you've received word from your manager that, you know what, you're going to be made redundant. So that's going to affect your motivation when it comes to making the changes that you need to make. Or, you dealt with loss in 2024, and again, there's another loss in the family. So different things can happen, and life happens for sure, and life will always happen. So that means if you're relying on your motivation, then that's not going to be a strong way of keeping you in the place that you need so that you can make those changes to your health and to your lifestyle. So you need a place where you'll be held accountable. And I'm going to share with you what accountability means, because for many people, it just means at the end, someone holds you accountable. So when you consider all this, accountability and commitment, this is what this process involves. So it involves bringing your commitment and bringing accountability together, because what that means is you'll see that you have increased motivation. What I mean by accountability is this. Accountability is not just what you do at the end or being held accountable at the end, in that, oh, did you do what you said you would do? No, accountability is also about setting you up to win. So you said, you'll just take 10 minutes at the end of your day to just sit and be silent. Like maybe you choose that option from the 8-week challenge I discussed in the previous episode. So what are you going to do to make sure you get that 10 minutes to just sit and be silent? So you decide, you know what, I'm going to set an alarm so that at 6 o'clock at the end of my day, I'm going to just sit in silence and make sure I create that time. So that's what accountability looks like, and that's what this process helps you do. Accountability also looks like this. If again you chose in the 8-week challenge, you're going to eat healthier, and you chose, you know what, I'm going to add extra vegetables to one meal or two meals, but you've been specific and you've said, I'm going to add broccoli to my evening meal. So accountability looks like this. You've set a plan, you've set a meal plan, and you said on a Tuesday and on a Thursday, you're going to have your broccoli for dinner. So accountability is setting up that meal plan, setting up that plan to say on a Tuesday and on a Thursday, you're going to have your broccoli. And you're choosing broccoli because you love broccoli, because we said in the previous episode, you choose to do the things you like. And accountability is also this. Let's say you said, I'm going to walk more this year. So that means I'm going to walk 10 minutes on a Sunday and on a Wednesday. So accountability looks like this. It's setting you up to win, right? So for some of us, we're in places where it's snowing, and I've just received, I think, 2 videos from my cousins in Atlanta where it doesn't usually snow. And so accountability looks like this. Okay, you've said you're going to walk 10 minutes on a Tuesday or a Thursday, but what if it snows? So you put a plan in place. My preference is that I will walk for 10 minutes, but in the event it snows, I have this exercise app, and I'm going to do some stretching for 10 minutes, or even in the 8-week challenge, I mentioned one of the options is to stretch for 10 minutes. So you can do that as a plan B in case something out of the ordinary happens, or it snows and you can't go out for your walk as you planned. So this is what accountability is. Accountability is also this. You send a message and say, you know what? I've got the ingredients to make my broccoli, or I've done my 10-minute walk. So the process I'm talking about sets you up for this kind of accountability. So this process helps you recognize if you're truly ready as you say you are, because the process recognizes or helps you determine that where you are and where you want to be, there's a gap. So this process helps you identify where you are and where you want to be, and this process helps you to close that gap so that where you are, you're working towards getting to where you want to be, and you're closing that gap. So this process helps you to close that gap. The process also helps you identify, do you really have the time that's required to make the changes so that you can get to that place where you want to be? So if, example, like last time in the last episode, I mentioned, maybe you decide you're going to go to the gym on a Tuesday and Thursday, but then you're traveling. So do you really have the time to to do the plan or to execute what you want to do? Or do you have time in terms of maybe you have a loved one who is going for an operation and you need to take them to the hospital. When they come back, you'll be taking care of them. They really need your hands-on help. So will you really have the time? This process helps you see whether you're ready in terms of the time that you need. Are you willing and are you ready to give that time that's needed? The process also does this. It helps you identify and take you out of your comfort zone, because some of these habits, we've done them for such a long time. And in the previous episode, again, I mentioned, some of the habits that we have, the unhealthy habits that are keeping us from the health and lifestyle and life that we want to lead. They're easy, they're very comfortable. So this process is about helping you recognize the comfort that you're in and helps you to take you out of that comfort zone, because out of your comfort zone, that's where success is. And again, this process helps you track your progress, not just tracking your progress in that, okay, I said I will walk 10 minutes, but also help you track progress in the other things that you start to benefit from when you start to make those changes. So it helps you track the progress, but it also helps you to make adjustments. As I said before, maybe it snowed and that's affected your ability to go out for a walk, but you've come up with a different plan, so you make that adjustment. Again, the process is about helping you also identify patterns that are blocking you from achieving your goal. So you'll see and identify that, how come on a Monday at 12 o'clock, I'm always having donuts and cakes? Because you've set up, the process has set you up to identify, yes, you're doing what you said you would, but it's also identifying some of the things that you're doing that can be preventing you from achieving your goal, or that are not supporting you in achieving your goal. So you sit and look, how come on a Monday at 12 o'clock, I'm always having biscuits and donuts and cakes and all this sugary stuff? Then you think and see and identify, oh yeah, I know why. On a Monday at 12 o'clock, we usually have a team meeting at the office, and that's where the donuts are coming in. That's where the cakes are coming in. So then that helps you make changes and adjust and plan ahead so that you can do what's in your reach, because you may not tell the office, you may not be in a position to tell your office people, don't bring donuts in, but you can make the adjustment for yourself in that you carry your own snacks, so that when there are donuts there, you have your own healthy snacks. So the process is also about identifying the other benefits that you see in yourself. It's not just about, yes, you're walking, you're eating healthier, but what else is happening to you? You know, the process is about helping you identify, you know what, my energy is better. I'm feeling great, but also, how come my skin is suddenly ashy and dry? And then you can look and say, okay, what was my water intake? And then you can say, okay, I need to increase my water intake. So, yes, I'm eating healthier. Yes, I'm doing my walking, but I'm neglecting something else, the water intake, and that's why my skin is dry and ashy. Or the process can involve having other tools that help you see, you know what, why am I always tired, like in the afternoon? Why am I always craving sweet stuff and chocolate? Why am I always moody and irritable? So it helps you identify things like your energy score or your blood sugar score. So this kind of process that I'm talking about helps you also put yourself in a position so that you're in that place, you're in that mindset and mind frame to keep going, because all these changes, all these habits, it takes time, it takes effort, and it's not going to be easy. So, and also life is going on at the same time, redundancy is going on, maybe, your work stress, life is going on in that maybe even the boiler has broken down, adding on to your financial stress that you already have. So you need to keep yourself in a frame of mind that keeps you in that space where, yes, life is happening, but I'm continuing to take those small steps to keep my progress going so that I can grow, yes. But so the process is about keeping you in that place where you can keep yourself in that rewarded place, and just keeping you in that place where you're doing the things you love so that you stay in that place where, yes, life is happening, but you're keeping yourself in that state where you can keep going despite the challenges that will come and that are coming. So you do things like listen to music, you do things like sitting in silence just to rest and recuperate. You do things that you enjoy. If you have the privilege again of taking a walk in nature, then you're doing that. You're just doing things to keep you in that frame of mind, to keep you going when everything around you doesn't want to keep you going. So what this process involves is about helping you stay committed, build your commitment to the process. The process is about helping you stay accountable, not just at the end, but throughout the stages, setting you up to win. And it's also setting you up in terms of identifying the blocks and barriers to the things that prevent you from achieving what you want to achieve. The process is about helping you close that gap so that where you are and where you want to be, becomes a true reality, in that gap is closed, it's narrower and narrower. The process is about helping you track your progress, not just the progress in what you said you would do, but in other things that you'll start to benefit and you'll start to see, and also in other places that, may start to pop up when you're trying to do your best. As I said before, maybe you start to notice your skin is dry. So yes, you're exercising, but you're neglecting hydration. So then you can make adjustments. The process is about helping you adjust. And also the process is about keeping you in a state of reinforcing good behavior by rewarding yourself, and also keeping yourself uplifted, keeping your spirits lifted, keeping you in that place where you want to continue even when your environment doesn't want you to continue. So the process is about how do you sustain all the results that you will see? How do you sustain all the things that are helping you, what's working for you? And it's also about support. And why? Because when you start to make changes, it's not just the results that you see in terms of what you wanted to achieve. Yes, you wanted to lose weight and you've lost weight, but you start to see other benefits in other areas. Your confidence goes up, you feel better, you get a promotion at work because now you're sleeping better, you've been focusing and you're thinking out of the box. So of course you're going to get that promotion. Of course, you're going to feel more confident in yourself, and now you're going out more, and your social connections are getting you're increasing, or you're working more on them. So then you've even gone and met someone special, and you're just seeing results in different ways. And what this process helps you see is that the approach that you take will determine the results that you get. And it's not just about the results that you want, but it's also about those unexpected results that you start to see. The approach you take will also determine the longevity of the results you'll get. So, and in terms of longevity, it builds up. It starts weekly, then it goes monthly, then it goes every 3 months. So you don't want to just take an approach that you're just doing things all willy-nilly, because you want to repeat the results. You want to be able to sustain the results, and you want to keep them going, not just for January, not just for this quarter, not just for the winter. You want to keep them going for the long term, so that when you reach your finish date of your goal, remember in the previous episode, I said, it's about having a start date and you also have a finish date. So on your finish date, it's not just, yes, I've been walking for 10 minutes and that's the end of it. You want to be able to sustain these results. You want to be able to do it in the long term. So it's about, how do I make sure I keep this going so that even next year in 2026, not only am I still experiencing the results, but I'm doing what I need to do to maintain the results. So the process is also about keeping you in a celebratory state, where you celebrate not just the big wins, but also the small ones. Because again, these habits are things we've been doing for such a long time. So you want to reinforce good behavior and reinforce good habits. So we need to celebrate. We need to acknowledge ourselves, not just in the big things that we've achieved, not just, yes, you've lost 10 kilograms, but yes, your mind has been changing and you're no longer succumbing to temptation. Yes, you have donuts and cakes at work during office meetings, but the change, the small change is where you've had 5 donuts before, now you're having 2. So the process is about recognizing the small changes, the big changes, the small achievements, the big achievements, and celebrating them. So we need a process that does that. And this process that I'm talking about helps you do that. And the reason why we're doing that is because we understand motivation is almost like our feelings. It's so fickle. So we need a place where our commitment is the driving force. And why is it the driving force, not your motivation? Is because we want the results. We want to keep those results going. We want to see them in the long term. We want to see them as sustainable. We want to find ways that work for us individually, not, what works for somebody else is what we're doing. We want those results to continue. And here is a good place, because I don't think I've mentioned when it comes to having underlying conditions. So, yes, you're trying to exercise more, you're trying to walk more, you're trying to eat healthier. But what if in a scenario where your doctor said, you know what, you need to keep an eye on your blood pressure is going up, or your doctor has said to you, or your diabetic nurse has said, you know what, we need to add yet another medication because your blood sugar levels are still not stable, or you've been told you're now pre-diabetic, or you're dealing with menopause or you're in the perimenopause phase and you're just not yourself, your body is just not what it used to be, brain fog, your memory, you've been trying so much to work out, but this belly fat, it's just not moving. Or you have a condition that doesn't have a cure. You have maybe something like long COVID, which is the very thing that brought me into this space of helping people with their health and lifestyle. And what do we do in these situations? We go out and we look for information because we are really keen and eager to do something to alleviate our symptoms. So what do? We go out and research this and research that. And because we really just want to change our life and change the quality of our life, just trying to get information here and information there. And at a certain point, you just become overloaded with information and it becomes overwhelming. So this process that I'm talking about helps you identify that it's not just about information and information and information overload. And I see that in all the groups and the WhatsApp groups I'm in, we're just getting information. We're getting information and we're getting confused. And this person is telling you this and this person is telling you that. So this process is about recognizing that, first of all, you already know what you need to know. And what you need to know is it's about putting that information into action. So whatever you're learning, are you putting it into action? Whatever you read, are you putting it into action? Whatever recommendations you've been given, are you putting it into action? Because when you're in the so basically what I'm saying is when it comes to information, it needs to be a relay race where you're getting the information and you're putting it into action. You're getting the information, you're putting it into action. Not just you have all this information from all these sources, whether credible or not, and we need to be careful with where we get our information from. So you've got all this information and you become like a walking library. But what you're doing is you're not putting it into action. And the analogy I can give is you're at the start line of a race and you're not moving, but you have all this information in you. You have all this potential that you can put into action. So all that information needs to be put into action. Otherwise, you look like someone at the Olympics and you're at the start line and you're just not moving. In fact, it's better to have a false start because you've taken action. But where you just have information and information and information, and you're not doing anything with that information, then you will not see any change in you. Yes, you're absorbing. Yes, you're saying, okay, I understand why, my gut health is important. I understand why, self-care is important in menopause. But if you're not doing something, if you're not putting all that knowledge into action, then you're just at the start line and you're not going to move. And if you're not moving, it means you're not going to get those results. And if you're not going to get those results, it means you're just staying where you are. And that gap of where you are and where you want to be is just going to get bigger and bigger because you're not taking any action. You're not making those changes. You're not getting to that place where you're seeing your energy go up. You're not getting to that place where you're seeing that, you know what, I'm getting better sleep. And let no one lie to you that when you're in menopause or when you have some of these conditions, the quality of your life just has to be mediocre, just has to be poor. When you put your information into action, that's when you get what you're looking for. Your quality of life can improve. Maybe the disease may not be cured, and some of them may not be able to be cured, but you can change the quality of your life. However, when it comes to type 2 diabetes, when it comes to pre-diabetes, if you put that information into action, you can reverse it. So it's about putting all you know and trusting that what you know is enough. So the process I'm talking about helps you to keep things simple. Keeping it simple is all you need. Yes, changing your habits requires conscious effort and it can be difficult. But if you keep it simple, just as I outlined in the 8-week challenge, you're eating foods as they occur. You're eating them in the way they are. You're eating foods in the way they were born. So you're eating them in the real state. You're not eating them in their passport state. So if your food requires a picture and all these names attached to it, meaning it needs a passport, then let me switch back to its original form. When it comes to eating healthy, you're eating a variety of foods. You're eating foods that have different colors. You're having foods that give you fiber and all these vitamins. And, it's about eating or adding things for your gut. Your gut health is important. That's where all the beauty of your health is. It's about recognizing, when it comes to sugar, sugar is sugar. So you may say, okay, I'm going to drink this orange juice, or you're going to drink Coke. In terms of sugar intake, it's the same. In terms of your cereal, sugar is sugar. So it's just trying to identify the basics and just keeping it simple. And this is why I had the 8-week challenge where you have all these 8 categories, but you just keep it simple and do what you can, do your best, and just keep it simple. When you start to complicate things, that's when you get overwhelmed. That's when you get now to a place of stagnation where you're not doing because you're just overwhelmed. So this process that I'm talking about helps you do all these things, build your commitment, build accountability, keep it simple, identify that the approach you take will determine the results that you experience. What you take also helps determine, how long you'll experience these results, how sustainable they are. So this process that is undiscovered, undermined, underused, is health coaching. And the whole reason why this process is there is because we want results. Not just the ones that you set out for, but the results that you don't see. Your confidence goes up. Yes, you're trying to lose weight, but your image of your body starts to change, and you're no longer beating yourself down. So you're confident, you're accepting your body as it is, knowing you're a work in progress. And so that gives you the confidence to go out, build your social connections, and meet someone special. So it's about the results that you are aiming for and the results that you don't expect. It's about longevity. It's about setting you up for the long term, not just January, not just, quarterly results, but results that you'll see even next year. It's about, what works for you. How can you keep these things going? How can you keep the results going? How can you keep this going in the long term? And it's about the biggest thing about this process is it's about transformation. It's not just about, yes, I want to lose weight, but you start to see in the meetings that urge that you needed to have that donut, the cakes, the cravings. The mindset is changing. Your mind is changing. It's no longer just about wanting to lose weight. It's about what serves my body, what keeps my body healthy. So then you start to add more veggies, you start to take care of your gut health, you start to hydrate, you start to sleep better. Then in the process, you lose weight. In the process, your energy increases. In the process, your concentration is so much better. You're thinking better. You're thinking out of the box. And so, of course, you get the promotion so that your transformation is not just in your mind, but in your lifestyle. A new, healthier, happier life. So I have questions for you, as always. If you're thinking, you know what, again, Tracy, you've given me something to think about, and you're thinking, you know what, let me try this process. Let me try this process because, when you try something new, that's where you're getting out of your comfort zone, and that's where there's success. So feel free to reach out, scan the QR code, book a call. Let's talk about the blocks and barriers that are preventing you from getting to the life that you want. You know you're tired. You know you're fed up of making the compromises that you've been making. And sometimes we don't even realize until we get to the results. And then you realize, all those compromises that you are making, when it comes to traveling, you go to the airport extra earlier because you need extra time to walk, because it takes you time to walk because you're out of breath for whatever reason, whether it's the being overweight or this condition that you have. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can adjust the quality of your life. So reach out, scan the QR codes, go back to the previous message if you want to create that clear plan. If you need support in creating that clear plan, reach out. There is so much support for you. Don't do it alone. Build up that commitment, build up that accountability, and then you'll see those results. You'll keep them for the long term. You'll sustain them, not just this year, not just this week, not just this month, but you'll sustain it as a new way of living, because that's where the transformation has occurred. When you see things is transformed, and when you do that, that's when you get the new lifestyle that you enjoy, you're excited about, and that you can maintain. It's matching your values. It's matching where you want to be. And so that gap of where you are and where you want to be is narrower and narrower and narrower. So I always look forward to your feedback. Thank you so much for all the feedback that I received on the previous episode. Share your comments, send me a message, send me an email, reach out, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. I wish you all the best in all you do. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share, and I'll see you on the next episode. Take care of yourself.